Byabakama, we demand DR forms. I posted something about the Constitution today, the article that talks about the legitimacy of a presidency after an election, something to do with DR forms. So I want to read that to you. I understand Museveni is gearing up for swearing in. If he does, when he does, we want him to honor the Constitution. So, according to the Ugandan Constitution, with regards to the Declaration of Results form or DR forms, no forms or no results to adjudicate, no forms to adjudicate the results means no swearing in. I know Museveni has always bulldozed us into doing things the way he wants to, but at this time, the Constitution, as it has always said, this is the first time Museveni doesn't have DR forms. And that is because His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was more prepared this time more than ever before. All the foot soldiers, all of the polling station attendees did what they rightfully were supposed to do. They took care of their forms. They took them off scene. Therefore, Museveni has no forms or DR forms to rely on. So according to the Ugandan Constitution, Article 103, the article outlines the general process of the election of a president, stating that a candidate must obtain more than 50% of valid votes to be declared elected. Clause 7 especially empowers the Electoral Commission to ascertain, publish, and declare results. In the Presidential Elections Act, Section 51 and 59. So, according to the Constitution of Uganda, by now, in fact, on the date Byabakama read the results of the presidential election, he was supposed to have DR forms that clearly state the electoral results, and they should be published and gazetted in public where anyone can reference, because many of us know that right now the Electoral Commission website does not have the DR forms that Byabakama claims to have gotten the results. I continue to read. The detailed procedure for using Declaration of Results or DR forms is governed by the Act Section 51, which requires every presiding officer at polling stations to fill out prescribed forms for the Declaration of Results. So every polling agent, an agent who would then feed results to the Electoral Commission, was supposed to collect DR forms with the right results and send them to be published or read by Byabakama. Section 59 details the Declaration of Results and refers back to Article 103 of the Constitution for the final winner criteria. The final winner criteria is that Byabakama is supposed to release DR forms to support his win or his announcement or pronouncement of Museveni's acclaimed win, which we know in Uganda that when Byabakama went on to read the results, there are videos that captured Byabakama's screen on the computer, which timestamp the time that Byabakama, the chairman of Electoral Commission, the time that Byabakama read the results is time-stamped on the video that is reporting what the screen was showing. So Byabakama cannot say or come out of nowhere and present certain numbers or paperwork or results, because there's something called a timestamp. You see, when you watch surveillance videos, or let's say for people like me in the business that I do, I have to enter data in a system. And that system, for example, let's use Facebook, okay? Anytime you post something, there is a certain time that is marked alongside the time you post anything. On Facebook, even WhatsApp, when you send a message, you have a time, what is called a timestamp. A timestamp will show exactly the minute, the second, the time something was shared or published, or whenever it went public. So, in the video that Byabakama announces, where his voice is caught live and the screen is captured of him reading the result, at the very moment the computer screen timing states that he read the wrong results, because the cameras from the back looked on his screen or captured on his screen the actual results that were fed in the system, which results presented His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu as the winner of the election on January 15th, 2026, this very year. So share this as much as possible. The camera that was behind Byabakama that could capture his voice, his picture, or his photograph, and the screen that he was reading from, that camera has a timestamp that matches the moment that he read those results. It is also easy to prove that that exact result that he swapped and gave Museveni, His Excellency Kyagulanyi's result, there is, at that moment, the photograph of His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and the percentage of the score is clearly showing that Byabakama read His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's results and named it Museveni intentionally, on purpose. There was no mistake, because there was only 2 actual competitors in this election. Forget about this other Mugisha Muntu and all. So on the timestamp, on the computer, in the voice, on TV, so the results were published on several avenues. The journalists who were there, the people, the tech guys who were able to pull those videos immediately when he was reading them, they were being live fed on other screens everywhere else. So the results on the screen match the time on the news or the time of the event, the voice of Byabakama, his physical being right there, the stamp on the screen. All these things adjudicate to the fact that Byabakama read His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's results and labeled them Museveni's results, and then gave Museveni's results to His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. That is the reason why once he read the results, he had to leave immediately, because he knew that he had made a mistake or he had done something wrong. But I understand the day before he was to declare the results, and this is no excuse, he was under gunpoint to release at the interest of the Museveni's people. So Museveni's interest was to read out Kyagulanyi's win for him, because he knew he was not going to win this election, which he never did. So Museveni's results, okay, let me try to find it so I can share it. Cuts. Jonah Cuts keeps posting these, and thank you, Jonah, for keeping up to date with this. I want to read to you the numbers, the actual numbers of, if somebody has it, can you please share it? So I know that His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu won by at least 71 or 72%. That is above the required 50% to win an election, a presidential election in Uganda. So His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu actually won the election, but the results were given vice versa, or vis-a-vis Museveni's results given to His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's results given to Museveni. So Byabakama, before the illegitimate Museveni thinks about swearing in, you must, as chair of the Electoral Commission, which you know the right thing to do, you must declare the actual results on the DR forms that show that Museveni actually won the election. He cannot swear in. It's against the Constitution for Museveni to swear in without DR forms. Museveni has known to fool Ugandans for over 40 years. 40 years. When he first came, he came as a refugee. For 40 long years, he has played ping pong and moved the goalpost every single time. It is time for us Ugandans to stand up and be strong and say enough is enough. He cannot continue this way. They had DR forms because they doctored results. This time we have the legitimate DR forms in our party, National Unity Platform. We have the original undoctored DR forms that declare His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu as the legitimate winner of the presidential election in 2026, January 15th. So, according to the Constitution of Uganda, a president cannot, or a candidate cannot swear in as a president without DR forms to legitimize his win. According to the Constitution, Museveni did not win the elections, cannot swear in because there is no actual results documented anywhere. The actual video or the actual tally that was in the system where Byabakama read from say that His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu won the election. And that's why they don't want to show that video ever again. But that video is in our hands and we have it. We have the live feed of Byabakama swapping His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's results for Museveni and Museveni's results for His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. So anyway, he cannot swear in. Yes, Gilbert, thank you. His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu won by 71.88%. Over 50%, meaning no matter what Museveni did or could do, he cannot possibly be the winner of the election. He cannot be a president legitimate to swear in. So by virtue of legalities, Museveni is an illegitimate president and should not swear in as a winner of the January 15th, 2026 election. They're gearing up, but it's not allowed. He's not going to be legitimatized because everyone, the whole world is watching Uganda. He's illegitimate. He cannot swear in as president. If he does, it'll be illegal and he cannot be recognized as a president of Uganda. That is how true this is. According to the Constitution, even if Museveni swears in, he's not the legitimate president of Uganda by virtue of DR forms and declaration by Byabakama. Because we have the actual results. They're not a secret. They're not hidden. We're not just making noise. No. There's reason to. There's videos. Byabakama knows for a fact that Museveni did not win the election. End of story. Museveni cannot swear in as president, therefore. Okay? So, besides that,